The most valuable of all talents is that of never using two words when one will do. Do you want to know who you are? Don't ask. Act. Action will delineate and define you. When injustice becomes law, resistance becomes duty. I like the dreams of the future better than the history of the past. Every day is lost in which we do not learn something useful. Man has no nobler or more valuable possession than time. Be polite to all. Be intimate with few. Banking institutions are more dangerous to our liberties than standing armies. He who permits himself to tell a lie once finds it much easier to do it the second time. The dead should not rule the living. I prefer dangerous freedom over peaceful slavery. It is error alone which needs the support of the government. Truth can stand by itself. Don't spend money you don't have. Pride costs us more than hunger, thirst, and cold. An honest man can feel no pleasure in the exercise of power over his fellow citizens. If you are angry, mentally count to 10 before you speak. If you are very angry, count to 100. He who knows best knows how little he knows. It is reasonable that everyone who asks justice should do justice. Only two people will tell the truth about you, your mother and your enemy. Nothing gives more advantages over others than the ability to remain calm and cool in any situation. A coward is much more likely to seek quarrels than a man of courage. In matters of style, go with the flow. In matters of principle, stand firm as a rock. The profession of a lawyer consists in questioning everything, disagreeing with everything, and talking endlessly. There is nothing more unequal than the equal treatment of unequal people. For the most part, people are more inclined to suffer than to fight to remove the cause of suffering. For the selfish spirit of commerce, there is no homeland, no feelings, no principles, only profit. Constant vigilance is the price of freedom. The sermon should be our lives, not our words. The tree of freedom needs to be watered from time to time with the blood of patriots and tyrants. This is natural fertilizer for it. Laws must go hand in hand with the progress of the human soul. Laws are written for ordinary people, so they must be based on ordinary rules of common sense. I am convinced that the soul of every person rejoices when he does good to another. Saving on advertising is like stopping a clock to save time. Dissent is the highest form of patriotism. He who gives up his freedom for security receives neither. Don't try to do more good than people can handle. An enemy generally says and believes what he wishes. Commerce with all nations, alliance with none, should be our motto. I have no ambition to govern men. It is a painful and thankless office. The only security of all is in the free press. The natural progress of things is for liberty to yield and for the government to gain ground. I hold it that a little rebellion now and then is a good thing, and as necessary in the political world as storms in the physical. Our liberty depends on the freedom of the press, and that cannot be limited without being lost. Tyranny is defined as that which is legal for the government but illegal for the citizenry. To compel a man to furnish funds for the propagation of ideas he disbelieves and abhors is sinful and tyrannical. I was bold in the pursuit of knowledge, never fearing to follow truth and reason to whatever results they led. I think one travels more usefully when they travel alone, because they reflect more. I would rather be exposed to the inconveniences attending too much liberty than to those attending too small a degree of it. The whole art of government consists in the art of being honest. If a nation expects to be ignorant and free, in a state of civilization, it expects what never was and never will be. History, in general, only informs us what bad government is. I'm a greater believer in luck, and I find the harder I work, the more I have of it. The man who reads nothing at all is better educated than the man who reads nothing but newspapers. Honesty is the first chapter of the book of wisdom. I do not bite at the bait of pleasure till you know there is no hook beneath it. I do not take a single paper, nor read one a month, and I feel infinitely happier for it. Never buy a thing seduced by its cheapness. Such a thing, in the long run, will cost you dearly. The honesty of people does not increase with their wealth. How much we suffered because of what did not happen, but could only happen.